Hey everyone. Well, my name is Natalie Heinrich, and I am so glad you could join us. I know a lot of people probably watching the replay. This is lunchtime. I'm sure if you got kids, this is a crazy time or you're at work. But the beautiful thing about our business is that we get to decide when we work, and 11:30 on a Thursday is what worked today. And then you get to decide because of technology that you can watch it anytime you want. I love we can office anywhere. You can kind of even see behind me that I got Mondo blocks over there, and we got cars over here. And if you could only see my living room, it's filled with all kinds of toys. So I love that I can basically be, you can't see me in the bottom. I'm just in pajama pants. And that's just so fun. I couldn't do that in my old job. So everyone watching, I just feel the need to say this is that I'm usually like hot all the time. And it's not going to be 70 outside. It's February in Oklahoma. It should be freezing. But for some reason today, I am freezing. And anyone who knows me is going to think I'm like dying or like I've been replaced with an alien. But so if you see that I'm like shivering, it's because I'm so cold today. I can't figure it out. But anyway, so I want to share a little bit about myself. This one's going to be a little different than virtual events I've done in the past, where I just share my story. Here's where I'm really wanting to break down quickly different facts about our company, facts that really made me a believer in our business and our company, and just facts that, I'm not going to talk about other companies. That's for you to decide. What I'm going to do is tell about our company and the facts that we have, and then you're smart enough to say, hey, and compare and contrast them to other opportunities out there in other companies. I will periodically be taking a drink of water. So I just want to share a little bit about my story first, and then go into these topics for you to kind of have facts. I love hearing people's stories about how this business has transformed their life, and we have hundreds of them. But I'm a facts and figures girl, and I also think facts matter because data doesn't lie. It's not emotional. It's just real. It's just what it is. And so, but a little bit about me. So my name is Natalie Heinrich. I am a RFX Circle Achiever and Lexus Achiever in Rodan Fields. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years. However, by trade, I am a physician assistant. I worked for 5 years in cardiology and 5 years in radiation oncology. I loved my job as a PA. It was a great profession. It was just very rewarding. However, about 7 years into my career, we finally had our twin boys. They're now 3.5. And, you start realizing when you get a little older and you become a mom or dad or whatever, you start really realizing that time is passing really quickly. And time is really the most priceless commodity we have. And you start realizing that I don't have enough of it, and it goes by really fast. You can always work more, but you can never go back and relive moments with your children, with your loved ones, with your friends, family, whoever it is. You cannot go back and do those. You can always work. And that's what was kind of happening to me, because it spent years trying to get those babies, several infertility treatments, lots of surgeries, IVF rounds. And when I finally got them, you just don't want to miss anything. But at the same time, I had went to PA school. I had taken out all the student loans. My parents were in ministry. They could not have ever paid for me to go to college. Best parents ever, but that just wasn't going to happen. So I have all these student loans. So it's kind of like, do you justify not working to spend time at home with your children or whatever you want to do when you have these student loans? No, you keep working. And so that's what I was doing. And honestly, to be really honest, I don't like having a boss, and I don't like being told no. I mean, who does really? Okay. And I don't want anyone telling me these constrictions and limitations that I have on myself, that you can go here, you can do that, your vacation here, you can't do that. Because let's just be honest. If you have an employer, or even if you own your own business, you kind of are in their hands. So we also are a small business owner. And even though, yes, you own your own business, everything is on you. So you're there even more than all the employees. But if you're an employee, like I was an employee of a hospital, they could tell me what I could do or not do, or I had to find a different job. And that just means they're dictating my life. So honestly, I didn't really like that. But did I think that there was a possibility of something different? No, I didn't think there was anything that you could do where you could truly be your own CEO and partner with something like this. However, I was scrolling on Facebook, like most of us do, and one of my friends had posted about her new business. We don't hang out all the time. Social media works. That's what connects us to people that we don't see that often. And she made a post, and she said very little. So on this event today, you're going to know so much more than I ever knew the day I signed up. What she said was, I partner with the Proactive Doctors in their newest business venture. And I honestly stopped and I thought, what in the world? So being in the medical field, I knew these doctors and I knew the brand they had built. I knew they had been around since the early 90s, that Proactive had never gone away. It had only gotten bigger. It was this multi-billion-dollar company, and I'll go into that in a little bit more later. And so I just thought, I don't understand how I'm going to get to partner with these doctors. So I started researching it, and really it was just an opportunity that I'd never heard of. And I thought, it's all online, it's virtual. What if? And I just thought, what if? And I am not an entrepreneurial person by nature at all, because there's risk. There's always risk. And it looks like a lot of work and a lot of money and a lot of risk, and you're not guaranteed it's going to work. So I kind of did the risk analysis with it. After, I got over myself. Of course, I had all the normal fears. What if I fail? I don't do this kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. But a few things got me was, A, it was the Proactive doctors. But the other thing is that if it's getting people like me who said they would never do this kind of thing, to think about it, I thought there are more Natalies out there that would never do this, but now they would because of the brand recognition of this multi-billion-dollar company, Proactive. So I really just woke up one morning and thought, okay, an opportunity's been presented to me. I can do two things. I can watch or join. And if I watch, I may regret it in a year because I'm watching people build this business. What if the Proactive doctors do it again? I mean, they've done it before. If anyone's going to do it again in this industry, it's someone who's done it before. And they had proven themselves. I like no risk, like I've already said. So I thought worst case scenario for me is I'm going to get rid of the brown spots that were all over my face. Laying out in my 20s, I got brown marks. And that was going to cost me a lot of money at the dermatologist and downtime and red, peeling, burning faces to get rid of those dark marks. And so my skincare I'm using, I can take that money and put it over here and just transfer money. Most people are washing their face with something. And what if it works? So I got rid of brown spots. It's a tax write-off. A home-based business is a tax write-off. Who doesn't want to pay less taxes? And so for me, worst case scenario was still a win. So there was no risk. And that is right up my alley, no risk. And I thought, okay, so this is something I can do. And then I got to get over, of course, all my fears of, oh, what if this is out of the box. So you guys, what I've learned is that we're so trained and so, society and culture has told us that you either get a trade or you get a job or you get an education and you work for the next 40 years, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and you may get to retire when you're old on 40 to 50% of your salary. And that's just norm. And people are so used to the norm that they can't recognize something new sometimes that can actually take all that and crunch it into 3 to 5 years. And I just thought that 40, 40, 40 is not appealing, but that's what 99% of us are living for. And I'm here to tell you and show you today, based on facts, that there is different ways to do that. And the world is changing, business is changing, and people's desires to live more the way they want are becoming more prevalent, and they're willing to do other things to spend time and just do the things they want to do. What I love is that this is basically work-life integration. So I worked my normal life. I had a job, I had kids, but I had my phone and I had a Wi-Fi connection. And anywhere I go in the world, no matter where we were just on a cruise with our team, and I literally had my phone and I could work. I met people. Most of the people I met had never even heard of our company, and I'm working wherever I go. And it's not work because it's fun and it's mingling and talking with people and it's just enjoyable. So, because I've worked before, and it's quite different when you go into a job to make money and you're working to live instead of living, or whatever that saying is. I always get it backwards, but you know what I mean. So what I want to do now is go through, one other thing. So I joined, started sharing, started tapping in, and what I found out is that we had a team that basically said, here, XYZ, do this. And so instead of, most entrepreneurs have to come up with all the things, they have to trial and error, they have to lose all this money, all these years to get to what really works. And here we're handed hey, do this. So I didn't have to come up with anything. I just duplicated the leaders on our team that had already done this before, and I started sharing. So there's now 2,200 people on my team in most states and in Canada. We're only in Canada and the US. We're going into Australia. But what I want you to know about that is that this is a word of mouth business. That's the way the business is. All businesses rely on you sharing word of mouth. And that's why they're all on social media. That's the way it is. And I told 3.5% of those 2,200 people. Now, the majority of those consultants, they want a great discount and they don't see it as work it as a business. Other consultants want to completely change their lives, and those are the ones around them. You can do whatever you want with it. But the great thing is I told 3% of those people, because I think people think, oh, I've got to know all these people. No, you don't. I really didn't know that many people. But I know people who know people, and it's a domino effect. And I just love that. Okay, so some facts I want to share with you really quickly is, so our doctors, Dr. Katie Rodin and Dr. Kathy Fields, are world-renowned top dermatologists in the world. They are clinically trained at Stanford. They're clinical professors at Stanford. And I was just in San Francisco at a leaders meeting, and they walked in at noon, and they had seen patients that morning. Now, as a retired clinician, that was amazing to me. They must really love what they do to not need the money, but still go in and see patients. And they have up to a 2-year wait list. So our doctors are the top notch. I mean, they've been written up in Forbes, on Fox Business News, all kinds of articles about them because of what they've done. They've taken medicine and made it big business. They also knew there was a need. And they also saw that there's only one dermatologist for every 30,000 people. And they knew that was only going to get worse. So our access was just going to diminish. Because less and less people were going to medical school. So they saw a need. They knew Proactive served a need with acne, but then they saw a bigger need. So we're treating all the 4 main skin conditions that are out there, and that's sensitive skin to acne to wrinkles and brown spots. And that covers almost everyone. Almost everyone has one of those, or will at some point in their life. 40% of adults still deal with acne. I never even realized that. So they saw a need in the market, and they saw a shift in the way business was moving. And they combined the two. Now, we did start out in high-end retail, and that's when they saw the shift that business was moving, brick and mortars were going down, and the world was moving online. And that's why they pulled out as a #1 clinical selling brand in places like Nordstrom and went to an online virtual franchise model and decided to pay people like us. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But the next thing that is important, and this one to me is the most important one, besides the efficacy of our products, is global brand recognition. You guys, you cannot buy the brand recognition that we have. Companies fail every single day because no one knows who the heck they are. When I tell people it's Rodin and Fields and they've never heard of it, I say, well, it's the Proactive doctors. And everyone goes, oh, okay. Immediate trust has already been built for us for 3 decades. There is no company out there that you can partner with that has that. No one. And so for me, I like an easy path, an easier path. And that to me is what it's all about. Companies spend millions of dollars to get their brand name out there and still fail every single day. That has been done for us. The world knows Proactive. So these doctors built that company. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's in 120 countries, and they own 80% of the global acne market still today. So that tells us a lot that no one has trumped their multi-med therapy approach to acne. These doctors knew what they were doing. And back in the 90s, everyone laughed and said, no one will ever do it. Well, they're wrong, and they're still doing it. Why? Because it works. People will do what works. We're just so used to things not working. So to me, partnering with the credibility of that was something that was just easy for me to see the vision that they had. So, who's our target audience? This is also very important. You've got to think about who's your audience. So a lot of companies may be only people who want to lose weight, only people who maybe want to be healthier with supplements or nutrients, or some people who just like bags or jewelry or kids clothing, or that only are for men or just for women or youth, or you can just see that they have these niches and they're just pockets of people. Well, if you look around you, our audience is everyone with skin. Everyone has skin, and I haven't met one person that there's not something they want to change about their skin. And that is really big business. That is a business that is big and it's global. It doesn't matter your language, your background, everyone wants pretty skin. It's not a fad and it's not a trend. Even with young people, we have done studies that, well, we haven't, but people have done studies that show that if you tell young people to put on sunscreen to prevent cancer, they don't care. But if you tell them to prevent wrinkles, they're going to put it on. And that just showed you people want to look young for as long as they can and look their best. And that doesn't care. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Okay, this isn't skincare for women. Skin is skin. Medically speaking, your skin is skin. Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. We have people 6 weeks old using our products to 101 years old. And you see how many people that includes. So I talked about already the different skin treatments that we address, which is sensitive skin. I mean, anything, even a sunburn to bug bites. Our Soothe regimen treats anything with an inflammatory underlying process in it, and is clinically proven to reduce redness in 5 minutes. It's amazing. So our products are clinically proven and tested and shown to have the efficacy that we present to people. So this is not subjective data, it's objective data that our products work, which I'll also get to in a minute. Sometimes I get ahead of myself because there's just so much amazing information, and after you've done it this long, you just have so much of it in your head. The other thing that is huge is we're consumable. Okay, you guys, that's just huge. I mean, that just makes sense, right? So if someone's gonna buy something one time, like a vacuum cleaner, I'm gonna buy one, I've had one for 10 years. Someone's gonna buy bags or jewelry, there's only so much they're gonna buy. We're consumable, people put it on their face, it goes down the drain, and they rebuy it. And that is how you build residual income, with a product that has to be purchased over and over and over and over, especially if the product works. People are very loyal to the products that work. And that's what we've shown with our retention rate for customers. So the efficacy of our products. So we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. And let me just tell you, the other thing I love is that if you want to get the efficacy of our clinically proven products, then you are going to have to go get a prescription. You're going to have to go pay a copay. You're going to have to go to the doctor's office or medical spa. There is no products, even though we're in the premium skincare category, which is with Clinique and Estee Lauder and all the people at department stores. I've used all those. I've used high-end stuff from Spain that costs too much money. And there is no products outside of going to your dermatologist. So what does that say? Okay, well, that's huge. To me, that is huge. Because if I can save time and money, going to a doctor's office to treat something that I could treat otherwise without saves me time and money. Time and money are the two most priceless commodities that people have. And if you're filling a need and not a frill, that's big business. The other huge thing is I didn't understand this because I didn't know anything about this industry. There's lots of things I've now found out about other companies and why people are skeptical, and I didn't even know they existed. But one of them is that when you see the numbers like how much a company sells that's gross income, right? What they don't tell you is how much of that is internal consumption. So how much of that is consultants being dumped with inventory, their closets full of whatever, and they're buying it all and then trying to get it out and sell, but the company still counts it as revenue, even if it's dumped on a consultant who can't sell it. So we have no inventory, so there's no dumping. Like you don't have your basic products that you need to use and your one-time business kit that you buy that has products you can share with people. That's it. 70% of our gross revenue is driven by preferred customers. So we have consultants and customers. Consultants can get a great discount, but also work a business. Preferred customers there's no business incentive. They strictly buy the product month after month after month. And 70% of our gross revenue, so there's no other company in our industry that has those numbers. Like it's unheard of and they don't even know what to make of it. What that tells you is that we're a dermatological skincare company that happened to choose this business model, and we have customers that are so loyal that they are driving our revenue. And that is such an amazing thing to be in because it's not smoke and mirrors. It's just facts, and that's out there by our customers and our thousands of before and after pictures that they provide us with objective data when you look at the face that has been changed. So the next thing is just a set of numbers. Numbers don't lie. That's why I love them. Right now, we are the #2 premium skincare brand in the United States. However, the numbers for 2016 have not come out, and we are well on our way to #1, which should come out shortly. The other amazing thing is that we're also fastest growing for the past 6 years. We're only 8 years old. We're like a nothing. Companies like Starbucks, they started in the 70s. You just think about how much potential and business development is left. So we did that in 8 years. Also, we will be the most unknown billion-dollar brand. That number hasn't officially come out either for 2016, but it will also come out shortly, and I'm sure that it's going to have a B in front of it. So I laugh because, billion-dollar company in 8 years is huge. It just shows you how big this industry, this market is. But we're so unknown, and that's what's so exciting. That is the tip of the iceberg. We are in 2 countries. Oh, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself again. This gets exciting. Okay, so, and we're recognized as one of the top 50 global companies, but we were recognized that before we even went global, and we've gone into 1 other country. So we're in 2 countries, but in the top 50 global companies, and that's just super exciting. So we have no advertising budget, and lucky for you guys, I have notes because otherwise, I don't know how long we'd be here. But we have no advertising budget. So most companies have a 60% advertising budget, so their gross revenue and maybe 50 to 60% of that is spent on advertisement. So say you had a $1 billion company. Well, 600 million or 500 million or 200 million, whatever it is, they're spending that money on advertisement. Well, we are the brand ambassadors. So where do you think those hundreds of millions of dollars go? They don't go to department stores and CEOs and corporations. They go to regular people, regular families that are then going out and changing their life and families' lives and their communities. To me, I didn't understand this business model. I was very skeptical about it. But now being in it in the way that our company has done it with integrity and have transformed the way people look at this industry, we're very different. I now see it as the most beautiful business model there is, because for me to help my family, I have to help others. That is not the real world. It's a dog eat dog out there. No one wants to help you because they're afraid you're going to take their job. Here, we rise by lifting others up, and we have a culture of support and excitement and just wanting other people to do well. And some people are there just for that, because the world is so the opposite, and that in of itself is very, very rewarding. There's not an age or gender that does our company. Yeah, we do have a lot of women, but we have men, teenagers. I mean, you have to be 18. Millennials, college students, baby boomers, retired people. It's just people that see that skincare is big business. I don't care who you are. You have people around you that have skin, and they're going to buy and join somebody, and they're gonna do something with their skin somewhere. And I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter. It's big business. It's smart business. It doesn't matter. If you love skincare, it matters, does the world love it? And they do. So what my other favorite thing about this is that it's a virtual franchise. That's what I see myself as. I'm a virtual storefront, like an Amazon, for the proactive doctors. They do everything for me. All I do is have a storefront that they manage. They drop ship. I just share. I don't have to do any inventory, no deliveries, no shipping. There's no sales quotas. I've learned in other companies that you can sell tons of stuff, and if you don't sell an X amount, you don't get any money. And it just shocks me. Here, you get paid on what you do, and we get paid really, really well. And I love being in control of the effort I put in. I know I'm going to get that back, but then exponentially. So this also makes no limit on your network. When you are a social platform, there's no limit to your network. It's all around the world, because you know people who know people who know people all around the globe. And that's what's super exciting. I will, in the next 5 to 10 years, have a global skincare empire with people all around the world that I don't know, because friends tell friends who tell friends, and they trust friends. And that's what this business is about. You have no geographical boundaries for your business when it's a social platform like this. So it doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter who's doing it in your area or how many. Your global reach is however you want it to be. We're also going to make a global march across the globe. We're in 2 countries. Proactive's in 120. We're going to go across the globe just like they did, with 1 country a year roughly. We have the next 5 to 10 years already mapped out of where we're going to go. I love that we're a company that is strategic. We may go slower than other companies in going into other countries, but that's because we're going to do it right. I would rather do something slow and correct than just flood the market and not do it strategic. So doing something slow and correct means that my children, when they get older, they will have a business that is willable to them, because we will have longevity and have built a strong foundation in our company for a lifetime and beyond. That's what we're building here. This is not some company's going to be around for a few years and then crash like a lot of companies do. It's like get in, do it, and go down. That's not what this is. This is going to be a global. We will be the #1 global skincare company in the world. And I know that can sound far-fetched, and most of you don't know me. I'm actually very conservative in the things I say, because that's just the way I am. But I believe that. That's what we're doing, and we've already proven it in the countries that we have gone in already, and the strategies that we have ahead of us. So most of us give excuses about why not to start something different, whether it's I'm too busy, I don't have the money, I don't know anybody, I hate sales. And I know all those things. I've heard them all. And really what I say to all those excuses is 2 things. One is, if you're too busy, then you need this business, because you're too busy to really live life then. If you don't have the money, then you need this business, because you don't have the income to live the life you want and to be with the people you want. It isn't about the money, but it is. Money is like oxygen. It doesn't matter what we want to do in life. It all takes money. If you want extra time with your family, you got to have money. So everyone doesn't want to talk about money, but you can't do anything without the income. people hate sales. 99% of the people in our company have no sales background. I have no sales background. I hate selling. But selling is not what it used to be. It's sharing. In our business, I'm sharing and I'm educating. So actually, every one of you who work, you are educating people on their options and you're letting them decide. And that's selling, if you want to call it that. But really what these are to me are excuses, because most of us have fear of doing something against the status quo, something that's new and different, something that's out of our comfort zone. So we come up with these excuses that aren't really the real excuses, because I was also in that boat. We have a fear of putting ourselves and doing something new. But really, you guys, that's where the magic happens, is outside of that comfort zone. And I cannot even tell you, we don't have enough time for me to tell you how thankful I am that I got over myself and said, this is an opportunity. So what you got to quit thinking about is you and your abilities and what you have. It's not about us. It's about what these doctors are doing with or without us, and we get to partner with them. And what you do is you stop. Fear should not tell you whether you're going to do a business or not. Fear doesn't dictate if this is a smart business or not. You step back, you listen to the facts. Is it smart business or is it not? Your fear is irrelevant in that. If it's smart business, then it's smart people that say, yeah, I'm going to do that. So your team matters. Just like you could be the best NFL football player. We're watching the Super Bowl last week. You could be the best NFL football player, but if you don't have a great team, you're probably not making it to the Super Bowl, even though you may be good individually. That's the same here. You guys, our success, we can do it on our own, but if you have a great team, you can do it faster and more effectively with less setbacks. And we are on the fastest growing team in the entire company. With so many of the top leaders in our company on our team that are telling us and training us and pouring into us. And that is priceless, okay? Residual versus linear income. I didn't understand this, but let me tell you something. I started this business 2.5 years ago, and because of the way our business is built residually, I'm still earning income on the work I did 2.5 years ago, and then 2 years ago, a year ago. Okay, we have a saying that if you understood residual income, you would walk through a brick wall to get it. And my linear income meant that I had to go into the office to get paid. If I wasn't present, I don't get paid. In my business now, because of what I've built, I could walk away for a month and my income would actually grow. That's crazy. And that's the beautiful thing about this business and about having the platform and the products that actually work that we have. I can say all these things I've said, but if you don't have products that work and that people actually need, not just a fun little thing that can be thrown away when something happens, but products that people need, none of the things I'm saying are possible. They're possible because the foundation of our business is the products that are clinically proven with their efficacy and independent studies to work. So I just want everyone to always know that the foundation is our products, but that is why this is so huge, is because they actually work. So, you just need to also think about, what do you have that's residual income? If you had to take a month off, or you had a death in the family, or maternity leave, whatever it is, do you lose income? Do you have something built up that keeps paying you? This is the best thing that you can get, is residual income. Do you have a plan B? Some of us love our careers. I actually loved my job as a PA. But having a plan B actually was really huge, because a couple things that happened. One is that the world we live in, you are actually disposable, and it's just the way it is. It's no longer that much loyalty with people who've been at their companies for a really long time. Oil industry, think about that. You become a number. Think about all the different industries that just like that, you can have a merger or whatever, downsizing, and it's over. And you better have a plan B, even if you love your plan A, because then you aren't going to suffer when that company says it's over. And at my old job, I'd been 19 months into this business, and we merged with a business, our hospital, and my department shut down, which is actually unheard of, and I don't have time to go into all of that today. But it was a radiation department in a hospital, and they were merging. And so my 10 years that I'd worked there didn't matter. My pay was going to change, my PTO hours, I was going to start over just like that. I put a decade in at that hospital. Okay, people lost their jobs, still haven't found a job, but I got to leave on my terms, and I said, peace out. I don't need you. I have 4 times my salary. At that time, I had 4 times the salary they were paying me. I didn't need to be there. But because I had a plan B that got to become my plan A, I got to live on my terms. Since then, I've 6 times my old 6-figure salary, working 50 hours a week away from everyone I wanted to live life with. And that's just crazy. And since a year ago, my income has quadrupled. And that's the beautiful thing about this business is the residual just keeps building and keeps building. So you need a plan B. I don't even care if you love your plan A. And you may not want to do with your extra time and money what I've done, but at least you have a choice and an option, and you're not at someone else's beck and call. So how do you start? I'm almost finished. How do you start? So it's under $1,000 investment. There's 3 different kits. You can talk to the person who invited you here, but I really want you to think about your income, your investment versus the potential. So, you know, our biggest kit is $995, and there's a $695, which if you're business minded, those are really the only 2 kits I think that are to get. You have inventory one time in our company, and it's at up to 50% off, and you have the products to touch and feel. And you know, when you're starting a business, you need to see what you're selling. You need to see what you're sharing with people, and other people want to touch and feel it. So can you start other companies for $30, for $100? Yes, but you need to weigh that investment versus your potential. What is your potential on that? It could be good. But in our business, the potential is limitless on that one-time investment. It's limitless. It's all products, and it all comes with even a 60-day money-back guarantee. So, of course, you know, I could be on here and you can say, well, I don't even know if that girl's full of bull. Well, you can try it 60 days and you get your money back. We don't have strings. We don't need to tie you into something. We are that good that you're going to want to be there. But if something happens and you don't, you can get out. We're not trying to hold people into something they don't want to be a part of. And so you cannot, there is no other, okay, so I want you to think about all the billion-dollar brands you wear, stores you visit, things you buy from. Okay, if you want to partner with them, you're going to spend a few $1 million. Okay, at least $1 million. If you want to start with other companies out there, it's at least 100,000, like a real brand name. We're not talking about just other little companies that have products that you can share. I'm talking about a $1 billion global brand. You cannot partner with that. So under $1,000 is a steal. It's like a penny on the dollar. And that's what we have the opportunity to do here with this company. So my overhead as a business has never changed since the day I started. It's $120. My husband's a small business owner with his family. Thousands and thousands of dollars of overhead. So much risk, headache, hours and hours spent there at that office. And my overhead is $120 to run my entire business with limitless potential. So in close, you know, if you guys could partner with the proactive doctors in the early 90s, you know, where would you be today? And really, you guys, this is what's happening, except this is so much bigger. We're not just treating acne. We're treating all the main skin conditions that plague most people or will at some point in their life. And you're getting the chance to partner with them. And, you know, even proactive people like Adam Levine and the Biebs and P. Diddy, they partnered with them. And it's because their products work. And that's what you're getting the opportunity to do. And so I just want to ask you, you know, if you keep doing what you're doing right now for the next 5 years, is it going to get you to where you want to be? And if it is, that's great. You should keep doing it. But if it's not, you need to ask yourself, you know, what should I change? Because if nothing changes, then absolutely nothing changes. If I wouldn't have been willing to try something a little bit different, wash my face and share about it, then I would still be at the hospital working to pay off student loans, basically, and not have my own terms on my own life. And so I truly believe that opportunities present themselves for a moment to any given person, and then they move on to the next. And this is one of those opportunities. I do not believe there'll be another opportunity like this in my lifetime. And I actually, you know, to water down my statements, like I said earlier, and to be very conservative, because I know that this actually can sound too good to be true. And a skeptic by nature, I always see the opposite side of things, looking like, well, what's the drawback, or what's going to happen? And it does sound too good to be true, but the facts are that it actually is that good. And it is one of those opportunities that we are the company to join, and we are the company to be a part of. And so that's all I have today. If you guys have more questions, you need to, you know, reach out to the consultant who invited you. We have such an amazing team to be a part of. Corporate is offering a huge incentive right now for people who join by the 21st. And basically they're giving you 50 of our samples to hand out for free, which is well over $200 worth, but it's actually worth way more than that, because those little samples, when I started my business and had to buy and make them myself, they have made me so much money and have helped transform my family's lives, because when people get to try our products, just a little sampling of them, they want to be a part of it because the products are that good. They sell themselves. So that's all I have today. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll see you around the team.